cold brew coffee with clean, simple ingredients. Quite simply, it is one of our favorite beverages here at the Rock Savages podcast. One of the best single source and mindful coffee brands on the market today is Caveman Coffee Company. Go to their website today, cavemancoffeeco.com, and check out their excellent cold brew nitro, sabertooth dark roast, vanilla latte, and much, much more. That way you guys can support small business and this podcast by entering promo code ROCK at checkout, ROCK at checkout, to receive 15% off every single order now and forever. And be sure to live your best pirate life with Caveman Coffee Company.
All right. Yeah, we're calling Arvid from Greenleaf and way out in Sweden, man. What time is it out there? Like 6 o'clock?
It's exactly 6 o'clock, I think.
Right on. How's life out there with all the COVID stuff? Are you guys starting to open up?
Well, Sweden is a bit special in that way because we haven't really closed down. We have rules or like recommendations.
Right.
So you can follow the recommendations, and some people do and some people don't.
Right.
So yeah, it's more isolated, but it's not as isolated as most other countries.
Right. Yeah,
we can still go out. We can even take a beer, just sit 4x4, kind of.
Right.
That stuff.
Yeah, we're kind of doing that too.
It's not that horrid, but yeah, we also have a pretty big spread here, so I don't know what's good or not. It's hard to tell, I think.
Well, you guys don't have many cases, so I mean you're doing something right.
Yeah, I don't know how, but yeah, maybe. I mean, our healthcare is really good, also.
Right.
Well, I think Sweden is a healthier country from what I've heard in comparison to some other countries that it's affected.
Yeah, sure. I think it's pretty good. Like usually before COVID, I think Sweden is it's a very good country to live in for health and that kind of stuff.
Not high obesity rates or anything like that.
Yeah. We pay a lot of taxes, and it usually goes to the right stuff, so it's really good that way.
Yeah, as long as it goes to where they say it's going to go, that probably works out for you guys.
Yeah, it's not that corrupt, so that's good.
Yeah, it's not like American politics, Jesus.
No, that's pretty crazy now.
Yeah. I know. We just have to tap out because we're just like, we're in Ohio in U.S. and we've pretty much tapped out on the whole deal. It's like I can't deal with this anymore.
Imagine, in the beginning, I kind of focused also on what was happening in the U.S., but now it's almost like it's too much. You kind of tapped out of it.
Yeah, it's cartoonish.
Yeah,
exactly.
The only thing that matters to us is the stuff we can control and the stuff that makes us happy, which is doing podcasts and making music. We're musicians too, so we've longtime fans of Greenleaf, man.
Super huge fans. I'm real excited to have this conversation. You're one of my favorite bands, so thank you for talking to us.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, the new album.
You like us.
The newest album was fantastic, and I'm really, really looking forward to some new music from Greenleaf. You have I know you guys released some new stuff. Do you guys have something in the new album anytime coming out?
Yeah, it's the 26th of March. That's when the new album comes out, but even next week, the next single goes out.
Oh, awesome. Next week. Awesome. Yeah, the 26th is almost my birthday.
Yeah, that's actually a secret, but...
Not anymore.
On Wednesday, there's a new lyric video and a new single, I think.
Awesome. Well, you know what we'll do? We'll publish this on Wednesday so we can help pump that up.
Yeah.
You just want to tell us what the name of the song is?
It's Love Undone.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll help pump that up. That's great news. So we got breaking news on the Rock Savages podcast. Yeah, we get the new Greenleaf song out with them.
Is it available for pre-release, or will it be, or is it just going to come out on the?
I think it is.
March.
I mean, the pre-order is copies are already out, and I think actually the vinyl, half of the vinyl is already gone.
Oh, really?
So that's pretty crazy, actually. We didn't expect that, actually. But
is this?
Yeah, I think Splash vinyl. I think it's half sold out already, actually.
Holy shit!
So they're making. I think they're gonna press more vinyl next month or something.
That's great. You guys are still on Napalm Records?
Yeah, it's the third record on our contract, and it's the last one. So we'll see what happens after this, actually. But so far we're pretty happy with how they work things. So we'll see if we will continue with Napalm or if we will go to something else. I don't know really, but that's more like Tommy's stuff. I don't do that stuff.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, he seems to be the OG of the band.
Yeah, he kind of is. Yeah.
I've been a longtime fan since Agents of Amran and Armin actually, and I was kind of going through and researching the band. Just it's a little confusing because Greenleaf's been around for 20 years. Why don't you can you give us a little like back history on the band, like leading up to you joining, and how did that come about?
Well, the thing is, like, Greenleaf, from the beginning, Greenleaf was just something that, because Tommy has this kind of, he never stops writing.
Right.
It's like, as soon as he's done with a tour or an album tour or something, he has to do something more. So, when he was touring with Dozer, the other guys wanted to take a break for a couple of months, sometimes.
Right.
And then Tommy started Greenleaf because he just started writing new songs directly, kind of. And that's why Greenleaf exists. And then the idea of Greenleaf from the beginning was that he was going to have some kind of core band and then just use different singers for different albums. And just, let the stoner friends around be a part of it. Like, Peder from Lowriders is singing on some of the old stuff.
Right.
And Frederick from Dozer is singing on some of the old stuff. And then there's some stuff from the guy from Mother Mystery, I think, or something. And that's the way it was until I joined the band. And I think that was in 2014 or something. And that's when Dozer took an hiatus, kind of.
Right.
And then Tommy decided to do a new Greenleaf record. And then I'm a bit younger than the other guys. Like, Tommy is 40 and I'm 31.
Okay.
So he's been holding. He held track on me because I was like a teenager that usually supported Dozer in local bands, I had a local band, and I think Tommy just kept track on me because he thought I was good at singing. And then he asked me, and I was really happy about it because I love Dozer and Greenleaf. And then we started to make Trails and Passes, and it actually was that Tommy sent me one track, and I think it was Depth of the Sun. And I wrote the lyrics and the melodies in 1 hour and sent it back to him.
Oh, wow.
And he was really happy with it. So then he said, like, maybe you should do the whole album. And then we started touring just because, like, Dozer wasn't playing. And it went really well. And Trails and Passes went really well. So then we became the main act, kind of.
Right.
And suddenly I was touring all the time. I didn't even. It was kind of like a weird roller coaster in the beginning. Like I just thought I was gonna sing on a couple of tracks in the beginning, and then suddenly we were a full-time touring band. So,
wow. Yeah, it's
weird.
It seems like you guys had chemistry.
And after that, time just flies, and nowadays Greenleaf is the main focus for most of us, So we still have daily jobs, but on some years we tour like 100 shows a year. So yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's quite a bit. You guys can probably really knock it out in Europe because the countries are so close together. What's a tour like? How does a tour like work in Europe? Because we're over here in the U.S. and it's so expansive. Usually you're driving 8 hours, 10 hours in between shows. Is it like that in Europe?
No, that's the best thing with Europe. It's like you can have like Germany as the main base, and Germany has 9 countries surrounding them.
Oh wow!
So it's like really easy. You go, and Germany is also a really big country, so there's like 80 million in Germany. So even if you play a small town, there's maybe 1 million in that town.
Oh my god!
You kind of have Germany as the main base, and then you just go out, and then you go to Switzerland sometimes, and then you go. So it's like really easy to tour in Europe in that way, because it's mostly like 5 hours drive for everything.
Right.
If you have Germany as a base, kind of. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the chemistry, the songwriting chemistry between you and Tommy, like you just touched on it. It's like it happens so quickly. Is that how it? I'm sure that's how the material on Trails and Passes went. Is that how it pretty much goes? Is it pretty much spontaneous? He gives you a riff and you just write the lyrics and kind of arrange it. Is that how it goes? And it's pretty much on the spot.
Exactly. That's how it's been working the whole time, and I think that's kind of the key for Greenleaf nowadays, is that we're really good at writing songs together. If you can say that about yourself, but yeah, it works really well. It's like I've always liked his riff ideas, and I think he likes my hooks, kind of, and that's the way we're doing it. So usually it's like he writes a riff exactly like that, and then he sends it to me, and I'll think of a melody and an idea for the song, and kind of in an arrangement, and then we meet up at the rehearsal space, and then we put the song together. And sometimes it's quick, sometimes we have to think more about it, but yeah, I think the process is probably a lot quicker than a lot of other bands. But I don't know, it depends. It's like for every record you do, it's harder work. But I guess that's because you're trying to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, and you want to be better. You don't want to put out something of lesser quality. So I totally get it.
Exactly, and you also kind of still want to evolve a little bit. Like, I don't know, sometimes I compare Greenleaf to a steam train that just goes on, but still it takes new paths sometimes, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to the stuff, and it's just so well written, and I was really curious about digging into the process, and I hear some of the stuff, and it sounds, I'm just, impressed in the songwriting, because there will be parts where I just can't imagine writing it, and it'll be very vocally, it sounds like it's very vocally driven, and it's surrounded, on the ends with, awesome riffs and great melodies, and then there'll be a part where it's just all vocals that brings this song, and just can you maybe shed a light on that? Is there a melody?
That's kind of the way we do it. It's like, if we don't, like, it's okay if we have a good riff, but if we can't make a good melody that equals the riff, we will skip it, kind of. So it's kind of up to me and Tommy to kind of decide which stuff that is good and which stuff that is bad. But also it's like, I think Tommy, because Tommy could, like, it's funny with Tommy because he could probably be a pop writer as well, because he's not really into this. Is like, because the music we're playing is very driven, is like very guitar driven, but he's not really interested in the guitar at all. When it comes to songwriting, it's all about the melodies and the rhythm. So, like he said, I know we talked about this at some point, and he said that I'm much more interested in a really good singer or a really good drummer, because like guitar players are great, but if you don't have a good singer, it's no fun.
Right,
it's true.
So like, yeah, I think that's how we do it. We kind of share the focus there. We're really interested in writing stuff that sits in your mind, kind of.
Right.
So did you guys go into the studio with the album written, or was there an evolution in the studio?
No, we don't afford that because we record everything live.
Oh wow.
So everything is pre-written, and then we do all the tracks live together, except the vocals, and then we put the lead on, and we do some guitar overdubs, and then I have a studio as well, but a smaller one, and then I'll do the harmonies and everything there. So it's a very quick process when we're in the studio. We usually record the whole album in 1 week.
That's how it should be done, dude. I mean, really. I mean, let all the imperfections stay there a little bit, as long as it's a solid track. I mean, we've talked about it over and over on the podcast. That's how rock and roll should be written. I don't think, and recorded.
That's the way to do this kind of music, because then you feel it, kind of. It's
right.
I know I did on the last album we did 10 tracks, and I did all the lead vocals in 1 day.
Oh wow!
And you can actually hear my voice getting a little bit tired at the end.
Right.
On the last song, but that's also like, it's a good thing, I think, because you can, I don't know, I really like that stuff that isn't perfect, like old records where you have like, I don't know, I really love Neil Young, for example.
Right.
If you listen to Harvest, and it's a lot of stuff that shouldn't be on there if there was like a perfect record.
Right.
I hate that stuff. I like it with the small things that's kind of the stuff you like the most.
Right.
The imperfections.
Yeah, I agree completely. We have this conversation over and over again. You guys are just kindred spirits to us. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same mindset and the same headspace. How did you develop your songwriting and your vocal abilities? Because I think lyrics are sometimes just as important as vocal skills. How did you start singing, and how did you develop your writing?
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm growing up with a dad who has a really huge and good record collection.
Yeah.
I think I started singing when I was maybe 6, and the way I learned to sing was just I tried to sound like guys like Jim Morrison, Joe Cooker, Otis Redding, old stuff like soul stuff, and I really liked vocalists that distort naturally. I don't like vocalists that is putting too much pressure on the voice. Like, if you want something to be like, you have a melody that sounds great when it's soft, then you should sing it soft. And if you have something that you want pressure on, it should be natural pressure, not the way. I can take an example, and people are maybe gonna dislike me for this, but I would say like someone like James Hetfield, he puts a lot of pressure on the voice.
Right.
But if you compare him to a soul singer, he will put pressure on the voice when it's needed, kind of.
Right.
And that's the way I learned to sing, by listening to old.
Yeah, the song or the emotion. The song or the emotion dictates.
Yeah. And it's the same with like songwriting. I just think I just noticed hooks and like what speaks with your mind, kind of like I don't know. And lyrically, I try to describe things that I'm grown up around. So there's a lot of like wood comparisons with the woods and stuff, because I'm grown up on the countryside, and that's kind of the stuff I see before myself, and then I try to describe emotions through pictures, kind of.
Right. Strong imagery.
Imaging.
Yeah, I think that resonates a lot.
Yeah, you guys carry that Mother Earth, very natural. You do a great job of painting a picture, and it ties the vocals and the lyrics will tie in with the melodies and the instruments, and it just paints a really good picture. I'm really excited. I hope you guys tour again.
You kind of want everything to harmonize. Like I usually do the melodies first, and then the words kind of come with the melodies, if you understand what I mean. Like
sure.
I usually get a a hook in my head with some words, and then I try to kind of figure out what the words mean.
Right.
Then the meaning of the song comes along with it, kind of. And it depends on the mood of me, like what I want to describe. Like on this last record, I've had a really tough year because I went through a really harsh divorce in the beginning of 2020, and then all the tours ended and everything else. So this record is probably the most personal one I've been really writing, because it's like a lot of stuff about how I felt, kind of. And yeah, so, I don't know, it's just a great way of getting stuff out.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, music has saved me more than I can count, you know? So I get it completely.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why people are starting to really resonate with bands like Greenleaf, you know? But the only thing that bums me out, so you guys broke my heart a few years ago because there was a tour scheduled for the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys were coming to Pittsburgh, which is like an hour away from us. And I'm like, I'm going. It was like on a Tuesday night. And I asked all my friends, I was like, you guys want to go to Pittsburgh on a Tuesday? And everybody said no. It's like, fuck it. I'm going by myself. I don't give a shit. I'm not missing Greenleaf. And it was in a real small room. And then you guys canceled. And it...
Yeah, I know.
Was that...
That was probably the worst Facebook update I had to write.
Oh, yeah, man. We were so bummed out.
It was hard. It was a real issue, and we're really sorry we couldn't come out. And I hope we can do it sometimes. It's just...
Is it tough?
I don't want to go into why we canceled too much, but it was like... It was really a management issue, and also a problem with your new president at the time, and the visa rules and everything else.
Oh, the visa, yeah. That screws a lot of bands over, man. I mean,
the visa kind of fucked us up because we kind of tried to figure out how to be able to do the tour without losing too much, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
It was like it was just like yeah.
It's probably not going to get any easier with all the COVID restrictions. Do you guys have any forecast on touring? Can you guys tour out there?
Yeah, we just had a discussion for Europe, and it seems like we won't be able to tour again until 2020. At least not in the other countries. Maybe we can do a couple of shows in Sweden, but it looks like we're gonna have to wait. We had touring plans for the fall, but I don't think they will happen either.
Have you guys thought about doing any of the live streams? A lot of bands are doing live stream shows and selling tickets to that.
We would be happy to do it, but that's the problem. Our bass player lives in Germany and we're in Sweden.
He just needs to drive out, dude. Let's make it happen.
You can Skype him in. That moves along smoothly.
Maybe we can do something on that. Or Bengt from the Trails and Passes area maybe could join us for a streaming session. And we've been talking a bit about that. But Tommy is also like he's very old school in this way.
Yeah.
So we might have to talk him into it.
Right. Oh, I'm sure you guys want to get in a room and jam, though. That's pretty much all you're doing. If you're just filming it, throwing it out there.
Yeah. Well, it's a good time for writing. You can't basically do anything else. Maybe we'll write
another record.
Yeah, another record. I don't know. But
have you guys thought about doing like an acoustic kind of psychedelic kind of thing? Because you could easily go into that realm too. Do like some 12-minute songs and just get real expansive with it.
Well, we've been talking about some different stuff, but I can't go in through the details on that because it's not official yet. But yeah, we've had some ideas about releasing maybe something shorter but with longer songs and just have fun with it. But see what happens, and we're kind of on the last thing of this contract as well. So we don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to say too much. So
understandable.
Yeah. Of course, we're just super curious because we're super fans.
Yeah.
We just
That's all good. I'm happy you like it. So.
Dude, we just need to figure out how to get you guys to the U.S. Was that canceled tour supposed to be the first tour, or have you guys been here before?
No, that was the first one, and it was a pretty huge tour. It was like 28 shows or something, I think. So
yeah, it
was both the east and the west side. It was a really great lineup as well, because we supported Truck Fighters on the first half, and then Fatso Jetson was supposed to support, or maybe Yawning Man was supposed to support us on the second leg, I think. So it was like a really nice tour, but yeah.
There's so many great bands in Sweden, and do you guys hook up with like bands like Graveyard? And there's a band, there's so many of them, dude. Blues Pills. I mean, you guys need to fucking hitch your wagon to a couple of those guys and come out to the U.S., man.
Yeah, of course. Like, I would be happy to do that, and everybody. I mean, it's not like we know each other, all of us, but yeah, we I'm sure everybody knows each other somehow, you know.
Right.
And we usually meet up at festivals in Germany, which is kind of random because all the bands in this genre rarely play Sweden. We mostly play Germany or the other countries on the center of Europe, kind of.
Wow, really? Why is that?
The scene isn't huge here. It's just weird, actually, because most of the Sweden bands in this genre rarely play Sweden.
Is there not a big live music scene in Sweden?
It's a lot of music in Sweden. It's like, I don't know if it's because of the cold and the darkness or something, but it's just a really productive country when it comes to music.
Right.
It's like really hard to get a good fee for us here, actually. So
yeah, a lot of black metal comes out of Sweden too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can compare it to like the Northwest, scene in the 90s, in Seattle. It's the same deal. There's a ton of fucking really creative bands, and it's really dark and cold. But the thing about that is what's weird about Sweden is that there's no major live scene. You'd think there would be, comparing it to a band an area like Seattle, Washington.
Sweden is such a small country, so the genres are like really small. Like if you compare Germany, for example, it's like they have 80 million, so maybe there's a million listening to stoner rock.
Right.
Which that in Sweden is maybe like 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a huge difference in that way, and that venue-wise is a problem because, of course, you can have a stoner rock festival or like a show in Stockholm and maybe Malmö and Gothenburg, but that's basically it.
Right.
Because not too many people know about it, but it's actually growing a little bit now.
Right.
There's even some festivals coming up, so I think actually, the stoner rock genre is getting bigger in Sweden, actually. So that's cool.
It's probably because of everyone shut down and listening to records. Like we've had conversations like this the last few episodes, and it's like it might be a rock and roll renaissance. Everyone's more or less sitting at home, so they're buying all these records and exploring music. So maybe when it all does open back up in Europe, you guys will be even bigger than you were before.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah. Fingers crossed on that.
And the vinyls are coming back, so that's good too. So, and I mean, it's a really great scene to be in, and because it's such a supportive fan base as well. Like, I don't know a band in pop music that can sell like a shirt, a vinyl, a bag, and everything else every show.
Right.
It's a very supportive scene where everybody are kind of friends as well. It's not like it's not like you're above the guys listening to it. It's like more like everybody's friends.
Right.
So that's great too.
Well, at the end of the day,
that's what I really love about the genre as well. So.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all just music fans. That's all. We're musicians, but we're fans too, and that's what got us to start playing music. So, like I said before, it's just all kindred spirit in a sense,
Yeah, it's mostly like nerds who like beer, and I am as well. So.
Yeah, I try not to use the term nerds anymore because it's like it's just fandom, Like people who love sports call people who love music nerds, and I'm like, well, what about you, dude? You're a sports nerd, you know?
Exactly. But that's what I mean. It's like we're all nerds. It's just different.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
exactly.
we're all nerds, just different ways.
Yeah. I think we should take the expression nerd back. It's a cool word, not a nerd word.
Yeah. It's not negative, man. It's positive.
No.
And actually it is. Yeah. It means you care a lot about a thing, you know? I get that completely. Well, dude, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Let's plug the new album again, and there's a single coming out, so let's plug the release dates for that and the titles. What is it again?
Love Undone is the latest single, and it comes out on Wednesday.
This next week
And
on
then the
Wednesday.
album is out the 26th of March.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Pre-ordering it right now.
Yeah. Everybody else do the same. All right, Arvid. Let's hook back up sometime in the near future and talk some more rock and roll. Back when maybe when everything kind of opens back up and you guys go out on a tour, maybe we can have a discussion and pump that up too, man.
Yeah, really appreciate it, Arvid.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, man. Take it easy out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Rock and roll.
Bye bye.